Hello friends, my name is Colin and welcome to my channel. I'm here again to complain about Anna O'Brien, aka Glitter and Lasers. I don't want to talk about just one specific incident this time. I want to talk about a pattern of behavior. I have been kind of sympathetic to Anna in the past, but I think those days are kind of over. I feel like I owe my modest yet very appreciated audience kind of an explanation of why. Why am I making a video this long about some random influencer? Why am I such a hater? A couple of years ago, I didn't even know who Anna was. I didn't become aware of Anna O'Brien, aka Glitter and Lasers, until I saw a YouTuber named Megan Ann do a reaction to one of Anna's videos. Why was I watching this video? Well, at the time, I had reached my highest weight of about 200 pounds at my short little height of 5'3", and I felt miserable. I also felt guilty for being miserable because I believed a lot of what I now realize are lies that circulate in the body positivity community. People say losing weight is fat phobic. Your body wants to return to its natural set weight anyway. I wanted to be body positive. I do think that everyone should be treated equally no matter what they look like. As a teenager and a young adult, I believed my friends in community online who said that not only was being fat okay, but oftentimes it was unavoidable due to genetics. And I'd been chubby for most of my life with a brief flirtation with thinness in my early 20s. So I thought I just needed to get used to feeling miserable. Then I discovered Megan Ann's channel. She's been on a weight loss journey since she left the body positivity, fat acceptance movement a while back, and she covers similar content on her channel. She made me realize a lot of the things I believed weren't true, and it gave me a lot of hope. As I was scrolling back through some of Megan Ann's videos, I came across the reaction to Glitter and Lasers from a few months prior.
Knowing that my body is going to struggle all the way through. And I think while the reality check was painful, I made that choice. I made that choice to keep fighting for myself, keep advocating for myself, keep pushing myself. And someday I will wake up and it won't be painful and it won't be frustrating anymore.
And seeing this bright, bubbly person named Anna being vulnerable and having a heart-to-heart with not only her audience, but herself about all the hard work she needed to do to get healthy was really inspiring. And it was kind of the final kick in the butt I needed to get my own health in order. I realized that if Anna, who seemed so confident and assured in herself as a plus-size person, could say she needed to lose weight and get healthier, so could I. And it didn't make either of us fat phobic or anti-body positivity. I thought Anna was just an upbeat, transparent creator going down a similar path as me. I looked up to her for being real and inspiring me to lose weight. No matter how I feel about her now, there will always be a part of me that does feel grateful to her for inspiring me to get healthier. And of course, I'm grateful to Megan Ann, a creator I do still like. I've lost about 60 pounds so far, and I do feel healthier and more confident every day. But my first impression of Anna started crumbling not long after I saw that reality check video. I wasn't a regular viewer myself, since most of her content isn't really in my wheelhouse. But I did watch a lot of reactions to her health content, and then I dove into that content myself. I started getting the vibe that something was just a bit off with her, but I attributed a lot of that to her just holding on to a lot of silly internet rhetoric.
As a creator, and as just a plus-size person in general, I hear two things about my body all the time. On one end, I hear from the body positive community or just general plus size community that I should love my body, accept it as it is, and learn to embrace and love everything about it. Okay? On the other side, I hear from people who are very anti-fat people in general, telling me that I should starve myself, that I should not eat, that I should exercise more.
It feels like Anna fell for a lot of the same false messaging about weight loss that I did. The first messages were from the fat acceptance community that said that losing weight is fat phobic and you can be healthy at any size. The other messages were coming from like popular media. Their message is, if you want to lose weight, you have to work your ass off. Literally. That was one of the reasons I was so afraid to try losing weight. I really thought that I would have to spend what little time left I had of my day exercising for hours. That sounded horrible to me. Thankfully, I found out about the concept of calories in, calories out. A phrase I see a lot in like healthy weight loss circles is that it starts in the kitchen and not the gym. And that's not to discourage anyone from working out. It's just to emphasize that if you aren't eating in a calorie deficit, you won't lose weight. People highly overestimate the amount of calories they burn via exercise, and they highly underestimate the amount of calories they consume. But as important as changing your eating habits is for losing weight, Anna doesn't really talk that much about her eating habits. She's vaguely mentioned changing her diet, but she's never specific. We don't know what her regular diet was before her health journey, and we don't know what it looks like now. She's certainly not as specific as she is about her workout regimen.
So today we're doing a series of workouts that are going to be 45 seconds on and 15 seconds off. And we're going to do them in sets. The first set is going to be really easy. Hey guys, today we're doing something a little bit different. I'm going to take you guys to work out with me. A lot of you have asked me questions about how to get started working out and how to even go to a gym for the first time.
She fancies herself a fitness girly. Not that I think there's anything wrong with that, but I do think she's going about it in a really misleading way, because Anna lost a lot of weight very quickly, and you just don't lose that kind of weight just from working out, but she would love you to believe that. Interesting. Here's the caption on that reel. Let's talk about my weight. It's never been the point of my journey, but I've been getting a lot of DMs/comments, and I figure addressing it all at once is the best course of action. I've lost about 60 pounds in 5 months. I'm proud of myself, not because I'm smaller, but because I can now do more things I love. That is why I started this journey, and that's what's keeping me focused. There's been a lot of speculation about what I'm doing. People assume I've had surgery. In fact, every time I go to my doctor in Houston, which is at least monthly, I get at least 20 people asking me if I'm seeing that reality TV show doctor, Dr. Now. I am not. To be very clear, there's nothing wrong with surgery, it's simply not my story. I've been pretty open about my journey. This weight loss is the result of treating several previously untreated medical conditions, learning how to eat to manage my pain, and a whole lot of sweat equity. In case you wondered, now you know. First of all, the very idea that there was a rumor circulating that she'd had weight loss surgery came as a surprise to me. If she'd had surgery, the recovery time probably would have prevented her from working out as often and as intensely as she claimed, at least at first. And Homegirl posts workout content constantly. There probably also would have been a significant, noticeable gap between her posts, although she is a planner and she does film a lot of things ahead of time, so maybe not. Depending on where you go, the process of getting weight loss surgery is usually pretty slow. I'm basing most of this on Megan Ann's experience because she talks about her own weight loss surgery on her channel. There are a lot of hoops you have to jump through usually. So Anna's regular followers probably didn't assume she'd had weight loss surgery already. But okay, the fact that she was seeing a doctor in Houston would probably give people who didn't follow her as closely some ideas about her being on My 600 Pound Life. Interesting that she didn't mention the show by name, probably to stave off other kinds of speculation. But I think if anything, her followers may have been asking if she was going to have weight loss surgery, not speculating that she'd already had it. I haven't scrolled through her Instagram comments that much, so maybe there were people asking that. I was personally just confused by it. What I know people were speculating was that Anna was on Ozempic or another weight loss drug. I noticed that her caption on that reel was sneakily vague. She does talk about taking medications and treating unspecified conditions, but she's never specific. And she doesn't mention weight loss drugs at all, either to confirm or deny. Not that I think any person on the internet owes their audience their medical history. It's just that people really thought she was being dishonest by claiming that she lost that much weight through exercise alone. And it would have been so easy to dispel the rumor about Ozempic, along with dispelling the rumor she'd had weight loss surgery. It almost felt like denying she'd had surgery was a red herring to distract from all the questions about Ozempic. And the fact that her comments are turned off on that reel suggests to me that it didn't work. Also, just as a side note, you'll notice she was also vague about her eating habits in this caption too. No explanation of what on earth eating to manage her pain could mean. Eating less and losing weight is a highly recommended way of reducing pain if you're morbidly obese. When I was obese, just walking hurt my feet and knees, and even just losing a little bit of weight greatly reduced my pain. And I wouldn't say I eat incredibly healthy or in a specific way. We don't even know what kind of pain she experiences. Is it joint pain from her weight? Is it pain related to lipedema? I have heard that many doctors recommend a keto diet to help with lipedema, but she doesn't say. She never says. She is the queen of vague. As much as Anna avoided the Ozempic questions, imagine all our surprise when she showed up on a podcast called It's Bigger Than Me, which is sponsored by Novo Nordisk. And if you don't know, Novo Nordisk is a healthcare company that produces, amongst other things, weight loss drugs.
Yvette Nicole Brown and guests are all paid spokespersons for Novo Nordisk, Inc.
I'm here today to get real with you about the impact of living with obesity, weight loss journeys, and how you know when it's time to assemble a team to help. And I'm just thrilled to welcome the ray of sunshine that is Anna O'Brien to our show.
This whole podcast is really just an ad for weight loss drugs, disguised as a nuanced discussion about obesity. I highly encourage you to watch a bit of it or watch Sam at Every Size's video about it. It is truly a bizarre experience. There is something strangely comforting about it to me. It's also fake and scripted with this absolute banger of a backing track. It's kind of like watching a daytime television show or like local news. The funny thing is, I actually saw an ad for that podcast multiple times on Reddit without realizing that it was Anna. She's styled way differently than usual, and I didn't even recognize her. Was it intentional? Possibly. Was it my own face blindness? Probably. Anna taking weight loss medication made so much more sense than her just working off the weight. And though it was long overdue, it was nice that she was finally admitting it on her channel. No, wait, she actually didn't mention the podcast at all on her YouTube channel, but she probably mentioned it on one of her other platforms. I mean, she also has a huge audience on Instagram and TikTok. Oh, not there either. Well, did she at least mention she was on weight loss drugs somewhere? Nope. Well, surely she talked about taking weight loss medication on the podcast itself, right?
So tell me what your specific journey includes.
Well, it started with my doctor, and we worked out a weight management plan that really worked for me. I work to get out of my comfort zone all the time, and I try new things physically. I've started meditating in order to create mindfulness in my life, and I try to make sure I'm drinking enough water and sleeping enough. Those really do help. And I use my platforms to allow myself to be fully seen in this process. While any one of these things might seem like a small thing, it is felt and it has been revolutionary in my life.
Yes.
I left the clap in because if I had to experience that, so do you. So yeah, not even on the obesity-related podcast, sponsored by Novo Nordisk, did Anna actually admit to being on weight loss drugs. Even with the prompt specifically asking her what her specific health journey included. It feels a lot like Anna wanted that sponsorship money, but didn't want her audience to even be able to find this podcast appearance. The name Glitter and Lasers isn't in the description of that podcast video, nor is it in the tags. And like I mentioned, it's nowhere on any of Glitter and Lasers platforms either. And I hear the argument now, but if she never mentioned she was on weight loss drugs, maybe she wasn't. And that would be fair criticism, but this was all going down in 2023, and I'm speaking from the future in 2024, because to no one's shock or surprise, Anna finally admitted she'd been on weight loss drugs for a while. What's interesting is that the It's Bigger Than Me podcast episode came out in April 2023, and Sam's video about it came out in June. Anna's reel about not having weight loss surgery was released on July 10th. What a coincidence that she finally came clean about being on weight loss drugs on July 24th. People probably saw Sam's video or just the ad for the podcast itself. Plenty of other people probably just noticed that Anna was losing weight really quickly and thought things didn't add up. I can only assume, especially because comments were turned off on that reel about surgery, that Anna had been inundated with questions about weight loss drugs, and she was probably just sick of it. Anna was even sneaky about the way she revealed she was on weight loss drugs. She put it in the caption of an Instagram post where context goes to die. She didn't even do a Notes app screenshot apology. Here's what the caption said. "Let's spill some tea. I'm taking prescription medication to help manage my weight. I originally was going to write this big post explaining why it works for me, but you know what? I don't care. If taking medication to help me feel physically better is a problem, feel free to unfollow me. I also take medication for Hashimoto's, anemia, vitamin deficiencies, fibroids, and anxiety, in case treating those also enrages you." I've said this before and I'll say it again. Health is complicated. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution. I waited 9 months before starting this medication. I didn't do it lightly and investigated all my options before making the decision. Furthermore, it's not a magical solution, but part of a larger managed plan, which includes weight training, therapy, and movement for enjoyment. I wasn't trying to keep it a secret. I just didn't want anyone else's opinions on it until I made up my own. Heck, I've only been on it about 3 months. It's still a new part of my story. Also, let me be very clear. I won't recommend it to other people because I am not a doctor. Just like I don't give diet advice because I am not a dietitian, and I don't give workout advice because I am not a physical trainer. In short, your health should be you and your doctor's business. Heart emoji. Hey, editing Colin here. I just realized I left out the line about her making massive changes to her diet, and that wasn't me being shady. My eyeballs literally just skipped over that line. I don't feel like it changes the overall message of my video because that line is, as always, extremely vague. I just want to make sure I acknowledged my terrible error here. Okay, bye. There's a lot to say about that. First of all, I think most reasonable people weren't upset that she was taking weight loss medication. We were upset that she was dishonest about how she lost weight on her huge platform. She lost 60 pounds in 5 months. She didn't mention that 3 of those months were aided by weight loss medication. She can't pretend she wasn't hiding that she was on weight loss medication while also heavily implying that she lost 60 pounds through exercise alone, especially when she was so passive-aggressive about surgery. Yeah, you can say there's nothing wrong with surgery all you want, but the tone of that video was clear to me. If you view surgery as the easier or lesser than way of losing weight, what does that say about weight loss medication? It's also so ironic that she mentioned on that podcast that she used her platforms to be fully seen on her health journey. She couldn't even be fully honest while she was being sponsored by Novo Nordisk. There are a lot of impressionable young people who follow Anna, and implying she lost so much weight just through exercise is giving them a false narrative. The idea that people are enraged by her taking this medication is so misleading, it's unbelievable. The only people who might be angry about her taking the medication are extreme fat activists, and they probably scurried away from her content the instant she started talking about her health. The truth is, Anna has a lot of loyal supporters who back her up no matter what, and even some of them were frustrated with her lack of transparency. And this tea about her taking weight loss medication isn't even fully transparent. She says she waited 9 months to decide to take them, but 9 months from when? And she says she's been on them for 3 months. That would have been around April, right when the It's Bigger Than Me podcast episode came out. I'm kind of cynical about Anna nowadays for reasons that will soon become clear. So it wouldn't be unrealistic to me that she waited 9 months for some sponsorship deal with Novo Nordisk to sort it out. That's pure speculation, of course. I have no way of proving that. If the decision took her 9 months to make, since her doctor suggested it, she could have talked about how she came around to that decision. It is a big decision. There are risks and side effects. Her audience really could have used that information, especially if she took the sponsorship to raise awareness about managing obesity. Let's be real, she didn't do any informing on that podcast. The most notable thing I took away from it was that she wanted to dispel the myth that she eats all the time.
One of the biggest misconceptions I think people have about me is that I eat all the time or something. I actually often have to remind myself to eat. I work all the time. I have a very busy and active lifestyle. And if motivation was all it took for me to lose weight, look, I'd be skinny.
Yeah, Anna, I bet it is harder to eat when you're taking a drug that reduces your appetite. As you may have noticed, although Anna did quietly reveal that she was taking weight loss meds on Instagram, she still hadn't mentioned it on any of her other platforms. So when she made a YouTube video last September titled, "My Biggest Health Update Yet," a lot of people anticipated she'd finally mention it. And interestingly enough, you'll find in the description of that video, "Thank you to Novo Nordisk for sponsoring this video." Would it make your head explode if I told you she never mentions weight loss medication in that video either? If I'm being real with you, I have no idea what she's trying to say is her biggest health update yet. Certainly nothing that warrants all caps and 3 exclamation points. Basically, she says all her health issues are being managed and she feels like she can do more. And I think that's great. But I have no idea what's up with the title except maybe she was trying to clickbait. Surely her viewers thought that she was going to admit to being on weight loss drugs. Being on Ozempic or Wegovy is nothing to be ashamed of, let me be clear. Plenty of people in her comments were even like, "I'm on weight loss meds and I think they're great." She wouldn't have received any backlash from most of the people who follow her. If anything, dancing around it was just making her audience annoyed. It certainly did that for me. I believe the first time Anna actually mentioned taking weight loss meds on her YouTube channel was in November 2023, a full 4 months after her post on Instagram, and a full 7 months after she started taking the drugs. And to make it clear that that Instagram post was not effective disclosure, people were still up in her YouTube comments asking if she was on weight loss medication up until 2024, because not everyone in her audience follows her on all her platforms. I certainly didn't at the time. I only found out about it through reactors like Sam at Every Size doing that digging. And the people who dared to say they wish she'd be transparent about taking weight loss medication were met with vitriol by her loyal supporters. Well, she made an Instagram post about it. Or more often, she doesn't owe you that information. No, she doesn't owe anyone that information. My argument is never that Anna has done anything technically deplorable or illegal as far as I can tell. My view is just that she's disingenuous and doesn't respect her followers. Okay, so I said that Anna finally mentioned taking weight loss medication on YouTube. What did she say?
It was kind of the opposite with, "You're losing weight, you're using a medication. How the hell do you think that that's the right choice? I'm disappointed in you. Why do you just want to be attractive?"
But glossed right the fuck over that one, didn't we? Like I said, I'm cynical about Anna, so I do have a theory as to why she dropped that particular nugget in that video. That's right, this video came out right after the infamous Target video, where Anna showed what some may call her true colors. She redressed mannequins, she made a mess, she was upset she didn't fit into junior size clothing, she was in general rude and off-putting, and no, she didn't apologize. She just quickly deleted the video and then started making vague videos about people not agreeing with her decisions and that her haters just needed to unfollow her if they couldn't handle that. Perfect time to mention weight loss medication so offhandedly. That's such old news, no one even cares anymore. She did mention weight loss drugs one more time on her YouTube channel from what I can tell, and that was on January 4th, 2024.
Last year, I lost 90 pounds, and that's a lot. And I did use medication. I know there's been like a lot of chatter about this. I don't think I ever hid it, but maybe I never said it directly.
No, of course not, Anna. Why would anyone have thought you were hiding it? It's so obvious it just slipped your mind. Again, I just want to restate, I don't think there's anything wrong with taking weight loss medication if you need it. Anna does need it. It's just curious to me why she'd be so forward about her exercise regimen and then nearly silent about her eating habits and then completely silent about weight loss medication until it was all people could talk about. Like, you can't lose 60 pounds in 5 months and not expect people to ask questions. You certainly can't take a sponsorship with Novo Nordisk and expect people to not ask questions. That was the aspect of this whole thing that makes me think that Anna really doesn't respect her followers. I think she likes having followers for the attention and the brand deals they bring, but as far as what they actually think of her, I don't think she cares. At least she doesn't care about the positive comments. She clearly cares about the negative comments. She was happy enough to take sponsorships with Novo Nordisk, but to actually discuss their product she was using, that was like pulling teeth. And when she finally admitted to it, it sounded like a bitter confession. If I had to guess, I'd say Anna really is ashamed of taking weight loss medication, and that makes me kind of sad. No one should get any hate for trying to be healthier. It's one thing to criticize thin influencers for using Ozempic to lose 5 pounds of vanity weight. It's another thing entirely to criticize someone like Anna, who is obese and pre-diabetic, for using a drug specifically made for those things. And I do think there may have been some people criticizing her for taking the easy way out, but I bet those people were probably in the minority, and they suck. I really think the shame is coming from inside the house. Anna doesn't want people to know what or how much she eats. In her own words, she doesn't eat all the time, which could be true. Calories are calories no matter what time of day you consume them. But I've seen that argument just a few too many times on Secret Eaters and My 600-Pound Life.
That's the hard part, is people look at you because you're big and think that you're just sitting there just eating, and that's not it. When you know that you're not sitting there eating, because I don't even have time to sit there and eat like that.
We get the people in a controlled environment. We get them to eat one day. At the end of the day, we get them to write down what they eat. They couldn't remember about 10% of what they eat.
If she faced up to the reality that she eats too much, that might feel icky. It's a harsh truth I had to face myself. It's not easy or comfortable to confront that. It feels gross. It feels unhealthy. It feels irresponsible. Who wants to believe that about themselves? And more importantly, who wants other people to believe that about them? Most people realize by now that weight loss medication works by reducing your appetite. It doesn't just magically melt fat off your body. Maybe Anna didn't want her audience to know she was on weight loss medication because, well, it kind of gives up her narrative about not eating all the time. It's so much easier and sexier to portray yourself as a fitness queen because on the internet that's seen as healthy and inspiring. But anyone who's actually fit knows what the issue is here. If she was hiding taking weight loss meds, it is confusing why she would take the sponsorship with Novo Nordisk. I mean, it's the internet. People are going to suss that out. But on the other hand, this wasn't the first nor the last time Anna used her personal life for a brand deal. She made a video titled "What I'm Eating," in which she claims she needs a lot of protein in her diet because of her workouts. It's funny, apparently all she eats are processed protein snacks with links that earn her commission.
They are the cheddar blast cheese crackers, and then they have a spicy version of it. Both are delicious. Sour cream and onion protein chip. You need to get the new style. These are chips, and I believe this or not, they are made out of chicken. Like a chicken chip.
She made another video titled My Fitness Secret, How I Finally Got Consistent with My Workouts, in which she talks about how she had a horrible experience with a personal trainer.
And it made me feel like crap.
And she's had so much more success with an app called Copilot. Wouldn't you know it, that video is sponsored by Copilot.
Click the link down in my bio and get 14 days free.
The one that infuriates me the most is one called This Image Changed My Life, Mental Health Storytime, in which she tells this weepy tale about bullying, followed by a sponsorship from BetterHelp.
So today I'm going to tell you guys a story, and it's kind of where everything started, and it's something I haven't told you. And that's because today's video is actually sponsored by BetterHelp.
First of all, I'm no expert on mental health care, but BetterHelp has pretty terrible reviews, not only for the quality of the care, but also for the company's business practices. I don't know enough to say if accepting a sponsorship is unethical or not, but you should at least expect some backlash from your audience if you do. And she did indeed get backlash, not only for the BetterHelp ad, but for the fact that these videos really just felt like commercials. It strikes me as very calculated the way she saved that mental health story time from years ago for a sponsorship with BetterHelp.
And it just ended up timing out perfectly that this story came back up after literally 5 years, and they wanted to work with me.
Anna seems to construct her videos around sponsorships. It's not that she just wanted to share this story with her audience, it's that she wanted to share this story with her audience as a vehicle for the advertisement. If that wasn't her intention, she could have fooled me. I also find it interesting that she titled the protein snack video, What I'm Eating, with an ellipsis like a text from your grandma. But then in the video, she never actually mentioned any real meals, just these sponsored snacks. Does this feel like clickbait to anyone else? It does to me, because she often avoids talking about what she eats, like I've mentioned. And people are curious about it in her comments, especially after they found out she was on weight loss medication, because that definitely does change the way you eat. And again, no, she doesn't owe anyone this information. It just feels to me like she isn't too happy to discuss all these things people are asking about, but she'll sure use those topics to clickbait. It all feels very, forgive me, Amberlynn Reed coded. It's interesting because at first I thought Anna was kind of the opposite of Amberlynn, because I thought she didn't engage with haters and she didn't use, popular hate topics to clickbait. But now I'm starting to realize she does do that. She just does it in a slightly more low-key way. She won't go argue with people in the comments or bring up specific hate comments, but she will talk vaguely about her haters. And of course, even constructive criticism is hate to her. But more often, instead of specifically pointing out certain hate that she's gotten, she'll vaguely and slyly address it with what she posts. People had a lot to say about that protein snack video. Specifically that all it was processed junk food. What's funny is that Anna referred to it as a series, but that was in November, and it has been radio silence on that series since then.
Dearly beloved, we gather here to say our goodbyes.
But she does now occasionally post recipes on Instagram and in her YouTube shorts. This is a very recent thing, and I really think it's due to the backlash from the protein snack video. There's one posted in January 2024 where she discusses a potato recipe.
Super creamy protein-packed potatoes were the first recipe I ever adapted to fit my new lifestyle.
Again, girl, what on earth does that mean? Is this the protein thing again? I discussed in my first video about Anna that she's obsessed with protein now. She claims it's all because she's working out so hard. And don't get me wrong, protein is important for muscle growth and maintenance, especially while you're losing weight. I myself have been tracking my protein for quite some time because I didn't want to lose too much muscle mass while I was losing fat. And now that I'm trying to get fitter, I would like to build more muscle. Wow, it was so easy to explain that, wasn't it? But Anna can't focus too much on her weight loss, right? Because she's very focused on proving that plus-size people can do everything that thinner people can.
And I'm gonna be really honest here. That woman saw me and assumed that I was entirely out of shape and that it was my first day on the trail, and that's because she has preconceived views of what a plus-size body is and is not able to do.
I also think her being vague about what the lifestyle change means could have something to do with the weight loss medication again. I'm not super knowledgeable about weight loss drugs since I'm not a medical professional and I don't take them, but I have seen a lot of articles that suggest you up your protein intake while you're taking them. From what I can tell, it's like any bariatric diet where you want to stick to a high protein and low carb diet. Part of Anna's lifestyle change was managing her obesity. While yes, high protein diet is also important for fitness, she can never seem to admit it was probably also recommended to her along with the weight loss medication, which is why people were so confused about the protein snack video.
A lot of these foods aren't even low calorie, they're just very nutrient dense. And with me exercising as much as I am right now, it's really, really, really important that I get the nutrients I need for my body to be supported.
She's not even worried about calories, guys. She's a fitness girly. All that protein is so she can get jacked. Speaking of getting jacked, maybe you've heard recently that Anna is a runner now? Is it just me, or does that sound like a bad idea? Like I mentioned before, my feet hurt just from walking when I was 200 pounds. Running made me feel like I was dying. And by running, I mean jogging while wheezing. So the idea of running at Anna's weight sounds like a nightmare to me. Maybe I'm just weak. But I do see a ton of people in her comments saying, hey, maybe you should just walk because you might hurt yourself. And I've even seen plenty of actual fitness professionals saying that too. However, Anna isn't just running all willy-nilly, milli-vanilly. She's working with physical therapists, specifically physical therapists employed at a place called Run Lab in Austin, Texas. I can't vouch for whether this place is legit or not, but I did look up several of the people who work there, and they do seem to be degreed professionals. That being said, the CEO is a chiropractor, and that always raises a red flag for me. Chiropractic medicine is often entangled with pseudoscience and alternative medicine, but the CEO hasn't really said anything like super alarming to me, so I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Anna is revealing her journey to be a runner in a multiple-part series. So far, 2 parts have been released as of right this moment on March 28th. There can be and has been a lot said about whether Anna should be running at her weight and whether or not those physical therapists are responsible or not for encouraging her to do so. And a lot of that has been hashed and rehashed, and I'm certainly not the person who should say whether or not she should be running or not. What stuck out to me was how scripted this all seems.
Let's do this. Good morning. Hi, I'm Dr. Kim Davis. I'm the founder and CEO of Run Lab here in Austin, Texas. My feeling and the reason for starting this company is because I feel that anybody who wants to run should be able to run. And we're all built very individually, right? So we base our process on helping people understand their own bodies and the way that they should move unique to their structures.
I came away from the first video assuming it was sponsored by Run Lab. I mean, it certainly wouldn't be the first time Anna has saved up videos for a sponsorship. Oh yeah, because I should mention, these videos are quite old, I believe months old. It confused me at first because I was like, didn't she just have a meltdown about someone complimenting her while running? Isn't she already running? Didn't she just sign up for a 5K already? But when I scrolled back through her Instagram, I realized I recognize these faces. It looks like she's been kind of regularly posting short videos with the Run Lab team, basically since she started working with them. So why the delay? I thought it might have something to do with the sponsorship deal. But hang on, if this video was sponsored, why doesn't Anna ever mention that in the video? Other people had the same idea in the comments, but when they pointed it out, other people said, no, the video wasn't sponsored, check the description. So let's look at the description. And bear with me because it's a long one. Yep, I'm a beginner runner and this is the start of my running journey. 1 year ago, I started a journey to get my life back physically. I've seen a total body transformation and weight loss. Now I want to push myself and stay motivated by challenging myself to run a 5K. Yep, we're going couch to 5K-ish. In this video, I show you how I started the process as a running beginner with the help of medical professionals at Run Lab Austin. RunLab is a collection of physical therapy and mobility doctors and specialists who focus on helping people achieve their movement goals. For me, my goal was to be able to safely run a 5K in my plus-size body, while protecting my joints and preventing injury. In this video, I get my initial gait analysis and assessment and learn a big challenge I will have to overcome before I can run safely. This is fitness motivation and inspiration at its best. My running journey is about showing the realities of adapting a plus-size body for an active lifestyle, especially becoming a beginner runner. We are often sold that changes happen overnight, but big changes take time and consistency. I want to show people that unrealistic expectations are the enemy in achieving your fitness goals, and that celebrating small wins and constantly showing up for yourself is what leads to real change. Also, I am not a fitness expert, and I cannot give medical or training advice. If you want to begin a similar journey, as always, I encourage you to seek out your primary care doctor first for a holistic view of your health and to address any underlying medical conditions. Then work with specialists on achieving your specific fitness goals. If anything I've learned on this health journey, it is that our bodies are unique and we need individualized health and training plans. If you're at the phase where you want to run or just improve your mobility and joint health and are looking for a gait analysis or physical therapy, I cannot recommend RunLab Austin more. They provide in-person and virtual appointments if you are not in the Austin area. Check them out here, and then there's a link. This video is not sponsored by RunLab, and all opinions are my own. Okay, so I was wrong. My bad. Hold up. There's one more sentence. We were gifted some sessions, but that was after I approached them for help in achieving my running goals. First of all, who is we? And second of all, is a free gift not considered a sponsorship? I said as much in the comments. I replied under another comment that was basically like, hey, if this is sponsored, you should say so. I said, LOL, I really thought it was sponsored too. But also, gifted some sessions and not sponsored do seem like incongruous statements to me. I'm not sure all the technicalities of sponsored versus not sponsored, but it feels like those gifts could have been mentioned. And oh boy, her loyal supporters were not happy about that. One person commented, that doesn't matter, because you are seeing what she is doing in real time. She isn't lying about the brand, she is literally showing you what's going on. And someone else said, sponsored means paid/asked to share. It's likely she went/emailed asking if she could make a video and ready to pay, and they gifted her a few sessions because she has a platform and it's good for them. A masterclass in missing the point. The problem was not that she was gifted some sessions or that she lied about the company. I'm really not sure what the first person was getting at with that. The second person is probably correct with how things went down, but the issue is that we just don't know. She hid that little factoid at the end of a mile-long description, and she doesn't consider free gifts to be sponsorships. Ma'am, the FTC would like a word. Do I think what Anna did here was illegal or broke YouTube's rules? Not really, and that's mostly because I think Anna is the type of person who probably has a lawyer on retainer. The Federal Trade Commission's website, ftc.gov, gives several examples of different types of brand relationships an influencer could have and what they should disclose to their audience. If you receive a free gift and then you decide to buy more of a product, the FTC advises that you should still disclose that to your followers. And Anna is technically doing that here. But I would say calling the video not sponsored may not be entirely accurate. At least it could be perceived as misleading. Not everyone understands what sponsored versus not sponsored means, including myself. I read several articles on the FTC website and I'm still not 100% sure. Was she gifted the sessions because of her platform? That feels like a unique perk that could have been mentioned. Was she gifted the sessions in exchange for some other kind of deal? Like we've seen all those TikToks/reels with these people, and this whole video itself is so overproduced.
At this point, we are doing the gait analytics. So we walk and jog depending on the athlete's capabilities, in shoe and out of shoe, looking at their biomechanical faults or their benefits of what they're doing well. Once we know what those are, that will then create an individual protocol or plan of attack to address those anomalies that are causing stresses in different tissues in the body, that are causing their aches and pains, or just the inefficiency of their run, where they're working harder versus smarter.
She says all her opinions are her own, but the whole thing seems so scripted and curated, I really could have believed it was just an advertisement for RunLab. Again, I want to be clear, Anna probably has legal advice, so I doubt she broke any rules here, but she was shady as hell. You don't have to be breaking the law to be shady as hell. I guess that's kind of the theme of this video. I made some slight comparisons between Anna and Amberlynn Reid earlier, but I do think there is a major difference between them. Amberlynn has proven herself to be a terrible person, scamming her followers, constantly lying, being a terrible pet owner, even accusing someone falsely of SA. I don't think Anna is nearly that caliber of terrible, but I do think she's disingenuous and manipulative. You don't have to be a complete train wreck of a person to be undeserving of your audience. I was one of those people who fell for Anna's peppy, positive, confidence queen facade at first. And besides being misled by her personality, I feel like a lot of people are misled by how she portrays life as a plus-size person. When she does speak about the downsides of obesity, it's largely in relation to how other people treat her. And I think that's true. A lot of people genuinely are fat phobic in that they bully people just for being fat. But a lot of the downsides of obesity are related to health and quality of life. I personally didn't face any mistreatment for my weight when I was obese, but I did experience some health consequences, both physically and mentally. And I felt shame for expressing that because of the community I took part in online. I take responsibility for letting those voices win for far too long. And I'm at the point now where I won't apologize for saying losing weight helped my health and self-image. Anna appears to still feel the need to apologize for saying her weight affects her health. When she does discuss her health journey, weight loss is kind of on the back burner.
To answer the questions I get asked most frequently, have I lost weight? Yes. How much weight have I lost? I have absolutely no clue at this point. How much more weight will I lose? I don't know / don't care. I just need to be able to say that I may not be able to lose weight. Not some of the weight, not part of the weight. I may not be able to lose weight in the way that everybody else loses weight.
She does want to lose weight on some level, clearly, but it's not as much of a priority to her as fitness and managing her other health conditions. Because when you do point out a lot of her health conditions are related to her weight, she'll bring out the list and say, well, a lot of my problems are these, actually. Never mind the fact that a lot of those conditions can be managed better with weight loss. There's some doublethink going on. Methinks the lady doth protest too much about not caring if she loses weight or not, because she does brag about her weight loss from time to time. Plus-size people can do anything, and if you assume she's out of shape, you're stereotyping. But on the flip side, she says her weight has kept her from doing the things she loves, and she's starting to get those abilities back now. My suggestion is that she either take a break from the internet to get her health in order for real, or just focus more on what people initially followed her for, fashion and vlogs. I have a feeling Anna is way too focused on the haters in her comments to really focus on herself. And not to victim blame, but she does bring a lot of that criticism upon herself by pretending to be a fitness guru when it is so clear that she's not. I guess this video is just to compile all the shady things that Anna has done into one concise video. These things all say to me that she isn't the person she claims to be, and I don't know, maybe it'll help other people realize that too, or commiserate with me about being fooled. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like or a comment, and please consider subscribing to me as well. I really appreciate your time. I know this was a long one, so thank you again, and have a great day.